What is going on, my friends? We actually just got back from Martha's Vineyard. Still got the Oak Bluffs snapback on. But honestly, we're getting straight into the next video because tonight, even like in a couple hours, I've got an amazing opportunity to meet the mayor of New York City. So I'm taking y'all with me. We're doing another video. We're going back to back. And one thing I want to talk about in this video is the importance of knowing how to tell your story. Over the past couple days, I've had a lot of opportunities to introduce myself to a lot of really cool, really interesting people. And one thing I've realized is I'm having to relearn how to actually give my elevator pitch, how to actually introduce someone to who I am, the kind of work I do, and how we could work together possibly. I was so used to introducing myself and defining myself by the job title I had and the company I worked at. And now I'm in these situations where no one knows me and no one follows me on Instagram, right? It's causing me to rethink how I actually go about my elevator pitch and how I introduce myself to new people. I actually think you need two different versions of your elevator pitch. I think you need one that's low context and one that's high context as well. And I'm going to get into what all that means. But first, as you can see, I'm covered in sweat and just travel. So I'm going to hop in the shower, and then Kaylee and the baby will be home soon. And I miss them so much. So I'm going to spend some time with them as well. As I was saying, I think you need two versions of your elevator pitch, what I would call a high context version and a low context version. A high context elevator pitch, in my opinion, is one you bust out when you're around people in your industry. So if you're a consultant and you're around other consultants, if you're a doctor and you're around other people in the medical field, this is the elevator pitch you use when you're around people that understand the language and the lingo of that industry. People, some people hate lingo, but I think using the lingo in the right way, contextually, tells people you know what you're talking about and that you're not, too green or too new into something. So I do think there's value in having a high context pitch. What I run into a lot more now is I'm constantly around people that, because being an influencer is not really a big job in today's world. Being a content creator isn't something that a lot of people are exceptionally familiar with. They have no idea what it is. And so you also need a version of describing what it is you do that is for a low context situation. This may be, for some of you, your close family. This could be some of your friends. This could be just at parties and social situations where you're not surrounded by people who necessarily do exactly what you do and are not going to know the ins and outs of that industry, right? The point of a low context elevator pitch is not to embarrass or demean or make yourself seem bigger than you are, because I think people do this wrong too, whereas they get around people who don't work in their field or, didn't go to the same school they went to or aren't from the same place of the country they are, and they almost talk down to them and they try to seem like they're, some genius and they're some master of the universe. Like, don't do that either. That's incredibly cringy and terrible, and you should never do that. No matter what situation you find yourself in, you can still accurately and clearly communicate what it is you do to people. And I'm saying all this as I'm literally on the bus headed over to Gracie Mansion on the east side to connect with some other professionals in the city. And I mean, people are saying the mayor may be there, so that'd be pretty cool as well. You have to do a good job as well of hooking people. Nothing is worse than an elevator pitch that's too long and too boring. You want to look at your elevator pitch like an influencer, like a content creator, right? Every good video you've stopped and watched on any of these social media platforms has a really good hook. And you should think about in your elevator pitch, how can you hook people in? What is a way that you can describe what you do, the company you work for, your career history, just what can you do that can really capture people's attention We get them to actually listen and pay attention to what you have to say. Even when I was a consultant, I would say something like, you know, I get paid to make PowerPoints all day, or I've called myself a professional extrovert in the past, right? Like, you don't have to be a famous comedian to come up with this stuff. You have to get people to pay attention to you. So hook them in, go through your pitch, and depending on the situation you're in, make it high context or low context. Honestly, before this event, I had no idea what Gracie Mansion was, and so I'll put up on the screen here. Really interesting place. So excited to go to this event. This is another great example of long-term compound networking. The whole reason I'm here tonight is because I was invited 4 months ago to an event, and I met someone at that event that happens to be on the mayor's team here, special events team. We met up, we got coffee, just connected. No transaction, wasn't asking for anything, just wanted to connect, right? Good connect to have, someone in the mayor's office. Lo and behold, a couple weeks later, she reaches out and says this event is going on. That's 4 months that I've, you know, started this professional relationship with this person. And I'm just now getting the maybe of an opportunity to shake hands with the mayor of New York City. This stuff takes time. Stop being so transactional in the way you connect with people. You do not know the impact of what you're doing today. So have a long-term view. So just finished up the event. It was a lot of fun. Actually did get the chance to look at, shake hands with, and meet the I almost said president, meet the mayor of New York City, which is, I mean, kind of like the president of New York, which is pretty cool. Had a couple elevator pitches. Definitely heard of out here in these streets. Okay, people know me. I know I've only got like 50 subscribers on this YouTube channel, but people know who I am out here, right? This is compound networking at work. I mean, this is one thing that could lead to another thing, that could lead to another thing, that could lead to another thing. And you can't enter into any interaction thinking it's going to be the thing, because it's the culmination and summation of all the stuff you're doing over months, if not years, if not decades, that finally gets you to the place where you want to be. I'm walking home, I'm sweaty, I'm tired, but damn, man, I love the life I live. I really, really do. And as I said in the last one, and as I'll probably keep saying for the rest of my life, none of this would be possible without all of you. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.